today, this week, I'm doing deloading, so I'm not doing as much. It's been about 15, maybe 14 weeks that I've been on this workout set of doing not so much volume, but in the middle. I think I'm going to take, since I'm taking the bulk more serious, I've been eating my daily intake and the weight is starting to pack on. About 221 right now. I'm going to go ahead and probably take it and do somewhere between 15 to 20 reps. More volume, more than anything. And then see how it goes from there. But definitely do more volume. And then this week I'm going to do some straight deload week. I'm not doing much. I'm going to probably do 2 sets today. Probably do some incline, flat bench, and then probably do some cable fly, just a single set, or 2 sets of cable fly, just the basic overall chest. And then probably go and do 2 things of biceps, 2 things of triceps, probably call it. And then if I do, let the abs relax this week. Still gonna hit legs hard because I feel like I only hit quads once a week and I only hit hamstring once a week, but I hit them extremely hard, and I feel like they're not as like sore or not, they're not lacking behind in any way, but I feel like at the same time I can still hit them and be fine. You can always grow your legs. I know the legs are getting sore easy, and it's probably one of the most fatigued body parts, maybe that and then back, maybe I'd say. And then, but besides that, you can always never miss legs. Honestly, that's one of my favorite workouts. I'm about to start hack squatting, and see where that goes. I've been trying different workouts out just to pick out longer legs. So squatting's good and all, but I think squatting's more of like a 5'8" and under type of exercise. You can hop on the Smith machine, and get a decent workout out of it, but squatting hurts my knees more than it does every single angle. Then you start getting the powerlifting stance, you start using your like back and other shit, and that's just not common for bodybuilding. So, but headed to the gym now. Like I said, probably gonna do a deload, and then tomorrow I'll probably hit straight quads, and then Thursday probably go and just do delts. My traps are already pretty developed. I feel like my shoulders are one of my best suits on my body, like genetic wise. I feel like I got decent shoulders, decent quads, like decent leg development, like potential wise. But my shoulders are definitely not lacking in any department, I'll tell you that, compared to the rest of my body. So I'm gonna do delts, and then I'll probably do back first and then hit delts. So we'll see how that goes, and then probably Friday do some hamstring, and then relax Saturday, Sunday, and start the heavier volume training. See how it goes. Haven't been hitting as much cardio. Where I work out, I already sweat enough, like probably burning more calories there than I do even on a treadmill. So my favorite thing to do is the Stairmaster, but the gym I go to, my feet are too big for the Stairmaster. I'm not even kidding you. So, and I only wear a size 13. But basically today, taking the time. Probably not gonna do any posing. I don't really know if I really need to do any posing today, but we'll see where it goes. And yeah, that's really about it. If you guys got any questions or anything you want to know, put them in the comments. I'm open to hear advice. I might eventually one day do like a measurement video, like not pumped at all, just to see what my overall, like my leg span, arm length, need like a true measurement of my size and height. Because I feel like a lot of people get the misconception of looking on the internet and like, oh, that guy's huge, you know. In reality, like camera angles, lighting, down angle, all that, you know, makes a big difference. Like me, I'm 6 foot, 6'1", 220. You know, so like on camera, like I'm not gonna look massive compared to like, you know, someone who's 5'5", 160 pounds lean. You know, they're gonna look a lot bigger. So I'd say my lean mass, like the abs, like 8% body fat area, I'd say it's probably 189 to 195. I'd start getting pretty lean. But besides that, we're gonna start the cut probably in the next first quarter of the year next year. Ride it out and see where we go from there. Never know. Might run some tests. Just depends how it goes. Never know. But besides that, basically, really advice of the day: do what you like to do, train how you want to train. You know, make the most of your training. Don't let people, you know, knock you down to their level. You know, back in the day, I wasn't the skinniest kid, I'll tell you that. I was definitely a little bit of a chubster. But, you know, my biggest regret in life is, you know, I wasn't really bullied, but, you know, I felt like low self-esteem. And, you know, now I look at people now and I'm like, damn, a lot of these guys are losers compared to me, you know. They're like in and out of school, party all the time. A lot of these kids that were athletes back in the day, you know, they're all fat and shit. And, you know, they can live their life how they want to, but it's like, a lot of them are just like high school highs still, so it's pretty funny to think about that. I've been out of high school for 3 years now, so it's pretty funny to think about, like how like you see some of these kids and you're like, damn, this guy really went off a cliff, you know. And it's like crazy to think about that, like you really felt some type of way because this person was like had something more over you at a certain point in time, you know. Always just try to stay humble. You know, never let them know your next step's so real, because, you know, a lot of people are like, bro, good to see you, man. They'll look at you different when you get stuff. And, you know, you make an motion, or they start, you know, giving you love. You're like, where was the love then, you know? But you just got to keep your head down, knock the fake out, keep your real homies close, and, you know, who's been there with you from day one. You know, never forget who your day one homies were, you know? So, for people that got you with the way they are, you know, always show love to everybody, you know. But everybody got their own, you know, perseverance in life and what they want to do. So you just got to kind of take it day by day, lift by lift, and honestly, you just got to, like I said, keep your head down and grind. You know, the faster you start now, you know, the faster stuff will become successful for you. You know, there's always that saying, day one. Because the next day or day one, you know, you got to make sure you're doing it now. Start now, you know. Yeah, it might be a Tuesday, but guess what? Go to the gym. It might be a Tuesday, and there's a girl you like, go talk to her. It's anything in life. Start now. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to have what you want, and you're going to feel some type of way. And if you never try, you never know what the outcome could be, you know. So, like I said, just never let no one knock you. Always be, you know, don't be cocky or ego. You know, there's a good point, you know, sometimes, you know, to be like boast a little bit and brag. But like at the end of the day, stay humble, keep your head down, work hard. And eventually you'll start to see things come your way that you enjoy, you know, or like, or what. And no matter what the outcome may be, you know, just, you know, stay humble basically is the tip of the day. Moral story of the day, you know, whatever you want it to be. You know. But yeah, I'll catch you at the gym. Probably gonna start with the incline dumbbells. Like I said, move to flat bench, do some cables, and then do a couple things in biceps and a couple things in triceps. You and I'll probably cap it off. Probably stretch today. I haven't had a good stretch in a while. I might hop in a sauna, honestly, but we'll see how it goes. But nice.
All right. It does. In your head, look at it, feel like it's goes down. So I will see